Okay, I see Gil is in the audience, Jerry Roseman, Kate, Matt, Sharon, Craig. It's great to see everybody's names. Aaron, I think I have my own trivia question today, which is people should guess, where is Aaron? Where in the world is Aaron?
Where in the world is it?
Carmen, San Diego.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the little hint is that it has to do with the subject of our conversation today. So yeah, it's a little everyone is being very cooperative with me, Christina and Denise and Larry. Doing this from the road, I give them extra challenges to overcome, trying to get me hooked up here.
Okay, everybody. Our live stream is going now. So we are recording. You can find this later today on IFU's Facebook page, or you can find it now and immediately after, live streamed on IFU's Facebook page. Sorry, I don't know if I said YouTube or Facebook earlier. YouTube will be later today. Facebook is now. But Aaron, I am all set if you want to get us started with Denise and Larry.
Okay. Well, welcome everyone. This is the Iowa Farmers Union Lunch and Learn series, and my name is Aaron Lehman, and I farm in Central Iowa, and I serve as president of the Iowa Farmers Union. It is a very special honor to be joined today by Denise O'Brien and Larry Harris to talk about Farm Aid. It's great to have you here, Denise. It's great to have you, Larry.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Glad to be here.
We're going to have a wonderful discussion about upcoming activities with Farm Aid and some and to explore the great heritage that Farm Aid has created over these 4 decades. But before we do that, just want to give a couple reminders about some upcoming Farmers Union activities. Remember, December 5th and 6th is the Iowa Farmers Union Convention in Ames, Iowa. Look for your inbox, look for your announcements about that. We're going to have a fantastic set of speakers. We're going to be electing our leaders for the coming year. We'll be adopting our policy, and we'll be learning from one another and having a great time with one another at the Iowa Farmers Union Convention, December 5th through 6th in Ames. Also wanted to announce that there is a field day taking place next Tuesday, and we'll put a link into the chat. Conservation practices for the critical bird habitat. That is going to be on our Lehman farm in Central Iowa. Our farm is going to be hosting this field day. Farmers Union is a very proud sponsor of the field day, along with the Audubon Society. We're going to be learning about conservation practices on the farm and what it means for critical bird habitat. And we're going to have a great discussion. No better time now, because so many of those farmer public resources that we depend on for farm health and for critical habitat for all sorts of wildlife are really at risk right now. And so it's important for us to understand the benefits on the farm and for our healthy landscapes. We'll be talking about that next Tuesday, conservation bird practices, critical bird habitat at our field day that the Farmers Union is sponsoring on the Lehman farm. We'll look forward to seeing you then. And finally, of course, dealing with, as it relates to our topic today, we are having a lot of great Farmers Union fun at Farm Aid. If you're headed to Minneapolis for Farm Aid 40, make sure to check in with us. We have a couple opportunities for Iowans to catch up with one another among the thousands of people from around the U.S. gathering in Minneapolis for Farm Aid 40. Look up all the details. We'd love to gather briefly so that the Iowans can connect up in Minneapolis. We're hearing all of the late-breaking details about Farm Aid 40. So if you're headed up to Minneapolis, make sure you check in to see how we can find some good opportunities to connect while we're up at Farm Aid and helping with their wonderful mission. And that mission is the subject for today's Lunch and Learn. And we are so grateful to be joined by Denise O'Brien and Larry Harris to talk about farm aid, both past and present. So again, thank you for being with us, Denise. Thank you, Larry, for being with us.
So welcome.
Hey, you are joining us not on your way yet to Farm Aid. Where are you joining us from today?
We're in Denise's office, and we're going to leave just as soon as we can after we're done with this.
Our bags are packed.
Yep, car's ready
Yep.
to go.
Well, very good. And the answer to our trivia question, where am I? I am actually on a farm tour with Farm Aid 40. We're in Cannon Falls, Minnesota. We're going to be taking a look and talking about diverse farming operations here on this wonderful farm here in Cannon Falls. So that's the answer to our trivia question. Aaron is in Cannon Falls, Minnesota. You're on your farm. Tell us about your farm. And tell us why that fits into the Farm Aid mission and the Farmers Union values associated with that. So tell everyone about your farm.
Yeah, well, we farm the farm that I grew up on. My folks moved here in 1949, and Denise and I got married in 1976, and then moved to this farm in 1980, and have been farming here ever since. We've been diverse farmers over the years. We've had beef cattle and hogs, and we did dairy cows for a while, and then we went into fruit and vegetable production. Denise had a CSA for several years, and now she's running a little greenhouse that she sells plants out of in the springtime. So yeah, we're just so fortunate to have access to this lovely spot. We're an oasis in a desert of corn and soybeans.
Isn't that the truth? And it's such a beautiful, beautiful farm. So you're planning to go to Farm Aid 40. This is not your first rodeo, but you were actually at the first rodeo, Larry. And Denise, you've been at many Farm Aids since that time as well. So why did you, Larry, tell us what drove you to go to the first Farm Aid in 40 years ago?
Well, I guess it was just our concern for the farming community at that time, because it was in the midst of the farm crisis. Yeah. Farmers were struggling, and the Farm Aid people, were gracious enough, and all the wonderful musicians were gracious enough to put their talents together to help raise money to help farmers that were in crisis. And sadly to say, it's nice to have Farm Aid every year, but it's a sad situation when we just have to keep doing the same thing every year after year.
Yeah, and this year more than ever, Denise, what similarities do you see with conditions that there were 40 years ago that you see now?
I see Mary Ellen asked about where it was in Champaign, Illinois. Mm-hmm. And just to give a little background too, I just looked it up. Larry went on a train from Boone, and it was the Farm Aid Express that was sponsored by, believe it or not, the Des Moines Register. And I don't know how many people, it didn't say how many people were on it, but anyway, things haven't changed. I looked up yesterday, I was looking through some old C-SPAN videos that when I was the president of the National Family Farm Coalition is when I went to Farm Aid as the president of that organization. And so I found some from 93 and 95, and I'm saying the same thing that I'm saying today. So I'm trying to figure out whether or not I hate to say the word stupid. We never let our kids say that word, but beating my head against the wall, our head against the wall. I don't know. It's farm policy is, we're supposed to have it change every 5 years. And we're, I think, about 800 days short of having that we have not had a farm bill. And maybe that's a better thing because it reverts back to an older farm bill. But, every year before Farm Aid happens, and this will be tomorrow, there'll be farmers talking about issues and policy, and the celebrities will be there as well.
Yeah, so yes, the crisis that farmers are finding themselves on the brink of are very much similar to what we saw 40 years ago. But your farm has changed, farming has changed, and we really owe so much to you, Denise, and to you, Larry, for bringing about positive changes in Iowa agriculture. Um, and so, while we know that we are still faced with challenges dealing with low commodity prices and consolidation, um, your efforts and I bet those conversations at farm aids over the years have led to tremendous changes on your farm and and similar changes around Iowa agriculture as well.
I hope so. Yes, back in when we started farming and Larry said he wanted to be an organic farmer, you couldn't say that word out loud. So, that's a big difference actually. It took a lot of years to get there, but that you can say the O word. And in fact it's getting more and more so with the condition of our water and our soil and our air, and the fact that we're one of the highest cancer, we're the second highest in the country for cancer, and it's rising. So um, that I guess the in the long run, I guess given the number of years that we've been working on this issue, both of us, it takes a long time to make change.
It sure does. It sure does. But take us back to that time, Larry. The very first Farm Aid, you were inspired to catch the train, in Boone, or did you say, or
Yeah,
Ames?
in Boone, yeah.
So what was that train ride like? Who did you meet there? What did you learn there?
Well, I don't remember any specific people that I met, but just so many, a diverse group of people that were on the train, farmers and citizens, that were on their way to Farm Aid to help support the farming community, and it was just a good time all the way.
Well, for sure, and I'm sure you met people from all over the country just on the train. What
Yeah.
And uh, what about the concert in particular might you remember? It's been a long time, but some of those same performers at Farm Aid 1 are here at Farm Aid 40.
Oh my.
Yeah, they were all many years younger at that point and had a lot more energy, but they're hanging in there. Uh, I mean, Willie Nelson is just a fantastic idol of ours, just doing this work over the years, and at 90 years old, I think he is now, just still hanging in there and strumming away.
And Larry and I,
Absolutely.
there was a Farm Aid, and maybe some of you were there who are listening and watching. There was a Farm Aid in Ames, Iowa in 1993. And that was the time that we got to, again, I was the president of the Family Farm Coalition, so I got these special, privileges with backstage passes and
Right.
everything. And so we got to get on Willie's bus, and his sister Billy was in there, and we met everybody. It was parked right there at Hilton Coliseum, and we were inside it, and we got to meet Neil Young that time. I've met him several times. I think, in fact, the famous Iowa Farmers Union picture with me and Neil in Washington. But we said to him, we said, you must be, really, you keep up on this. Thank you for what you do. You must have to study and think about it a lot. And he said, hell no. He said, things don't ever change. And so he just, and he's still at it, and so yes, we've had some in Kentucky. We had a big in 1993 or 95, I think it was 95 actually. We always have a panel, and at that one was Glickman, when Glickman was Secretary of Agriculture. And on that panel, Wendell Berry was there. So I was fortunate to be able to give testimony with Wendell. And one story I remember about Wendell, he says, he says, Ms. O'Brien, what are you going to say? And I said, well, I'm kind of still forming that, and that I want to be last so I can kind of wrap it up. And he said, oh, that makes me quake in my boots. He said, I have to have everything written down. And I found that testimony on C-SPAN yesterday, so it was fun to see. Yeah.
And I have to interject. I did have a picture taken at that same concert with Lyle Lovett, and he had his FFA jacket on.
Oh, wow, that's great. That's great. That's great. So what do you think inspires, you had some great interactions with people who are so prominent in popular culture and have such a great place and are thinking about rural spaces. What do you think drives them to bring together to the both of you and thousands of farmers around the country to gather?
Yeah.
What do you think drives them to go way out of their way to make this happen?
I think they like to get together just to have such a group of people to support one another and have that energy, to help keep them doing what they're doing and trying to make things better for coming generations.
I think too, if you look at, I think we're in a space where consolidation is so, eating up everything in our country. And I think it's happening in the music industry, it's happening in agribusiness, it's happening everywhere. And I think it's that these late stages maybe of capitalism, and we need, and things need to be done to change that. So I think there's even this maybe under the radar, low level connection about how the path that we're on in this country in our democracy.
Well, absolutely, absolutely, and renewing those conversations is important, and bringing those ideas together is important. So, what are you looking forward to most this coming weekend?
Oh, seeing people we haven't seen for years. That's what's good. I'm sure there'll be people there. We'll meet new people for sure. And,
Yeah.
and I've been texting with different people around the country. Are you going? Are you going? And so, and we're gonna Saturday afternoon from 3 to 4, we're gonna be at the Farmers Union booth that Wisconsin and Minnesota and Iowa are doing together. And we'll be there, and it'll be really great. I know some great Wisconsin Farmers Union people, and this is a chance. This is a chance, actually. I have to say this is that Larry and I made a commitment in the early 80s that I would be the one on the road and I would be going and doing the organizing, and that he would stay home and take care of the cows. Although when he went to Farm Aid, I milked the cows that time he was gone. The time he was gone, all by myself. But anyway, that I think that it's one of those. I lost my train of thought because I said that. But
I can interject.
yes,
I would just
yes,
say that it's events like these when a lot of young people are there, and they just bring so much energy
yeah,
and hope to keep things going for the future.
yeah, yeah.
Absolutely, and the traditions are fantastic at Farm Aid, but they're changing as well, right? Lucas Nelson is taking a more prominent role, and with his family, and all sorts of new artists are becoming engaged as well. It's a wonderful combination of old and new. So Larry, thank you for bringing that forward. For folks who are headed up to the Twin Cities, make sure you check out the Farmers Union booth. Larry and Denise will be there for a while, but there'll be lots of Farmers Union people there, lots of Iowans there, and they're going to be focusing their conversation on the farmer's share, right? The farmer's share of the food dollar has been dropping and dropping and dropping now to less than 15 cents of every food dollar.
Yeah.
And we're trying to bring that message to the larger audience as well. What other messages are you going to be bringing with you at this Farm Aid in particular? It's a really, really chaotic time in agriculture with trade tensions and USDA cuts and low commodity prices, high input prices. What personal messages are you going to bring from your farm?
from my perspective, I think highlighting what I think is most important is water quality, soil conservation, all the conservation programs that are being defunded. It's going to just have a totally detrimental effect on all the small communities, large communities. I mean, Des Moines is having such a problem with their nitrate filtration, and the Nishnabotna River in our part of the state, has had a fish kill that was caused by a nitrate leak from a bulk tank. And so that's one of our main concerns is to try to help just keep our environment in a situation where people can stay alive and not get cancer.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. I think too, again, it's that consolidation. It's the demise of our rural areas. And we see that every day. And a young farmer that's across the road from us, a strong farm bureau advocate in that, we have a lot of talks. I'm really lucky that he graduated with our kids. He went to high school with our kids. So we have a relationship that we can talk pretty honestly about things. And he's very sensitive to about spraying and things like that. But he said to me the other day, or well, when the July, when he was spraying for Southern rust, he was saying how he had to spray a second time, and he had to save. We talked about him having to save his 30-day corn to keep it alive. He said, I have to keep my 60-day, no, 90-day and 120-day corn alive for this many more months. And he said, I can't farm anymore. I think he's probably farming about 3,000 acres, mostly rented. He owns quite a bit. He had some good parents and grandparents that were landowners. But I just I'm just scared about the day when there's no one here. I mean, when Larry lived in this house growing up, the school bus was filled and they played pinochle on the bus going to school. There was that many and the school bus ride was that long, but it's just it's sad to see everything continue to diminish.
Sure. Well, and those are such important messages to bring to Farm Aid. But I want to we have a few people asking too, what is the optimism bringing you to Farm Aid this year? And what are you looking forward to most? And I think, well, ask it in two different ways. What during the Farm Aid concert are you looking forward to the most? And what brings you optimism going into Farm Aid and coming out of Farm Aid for our rural communities and agriculture in general? So you can answer either one if you want. What about the concert are you looking forward to most? And what are you what makes you optimistic to think that there's potential for some real positive change?
I think in my point of view, it kind of back to the younger generation and the energy that they bring and the hope and the new ideas, the groundswell of support for conservation practices and farm policies that are going to help keep small farmers on the land, local food production, and things of that sort.
And we love music. We go to as many concerts as we can. And I don't know how people afford to go to concerts. We can do about 2 or 3 a year. And we follow Willie. We've seen him a number of times. And Omaha is a great venue for we're kind of blues people. And and we love to dance. So it's just the music's always going on our farm, and we really love that. And that I'm trying to be optimistic, but we're in a very serious road to fascism. We're in it, and when things happen, freedom of speech, all the things that have happened over the last few times, the gun violence, since January, since the man took the office, everything's been in a turmoil. And it's my personal optimism, I guess, is to be with people so we can think through this and organize and move on. And what are we going to do? How are we going to do this? Because we have to be out there fighting.
Well, that's such a great message for us, Denise. And we have to be out there fighting together, right?
Yeah.
We know that there's strength by working together, and no better way to do that with fellowship and wonderful food and wonderful music all coming together at the same time. So thank you so much, guys, for your years and years of dedication, the wonderful example you've set for so many beginning farmers in Iowa, and your leadership role in the farm movement and in the Farmers Union. So a huge thank you and safe travels going up to Farm Aid. And we'll look for all sorts of pictures and reminiscences from this coming weekend from you both. So we're looking forward to seeing you there, and we'll look forward to seeing any other Iowans who are headed north to Farm Aid. So again, Denise, again, Larry, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
You're
Thanks
welcome. It's our pleasure.
Well, everyone, this has been the Iowa Farmers Union Lunch and Learn, and it is such a great honor to be here with Denise and Larry ahead of Farm Aid. We know that that we all need to work together to make a real difference. That's been the subject of our conversation today. If you haven't had a chance to become a Farmers Union member or to become a Farmers Union supporter, please do so today. We make a real difference when we're working together and telling the story of family farming and sustainable agriculture and thriving rural communities is no more important right now with all the threats that we face to those things. So thanks again, everyone. And Christina, thank you so much for bringing us all together today for our Lunch and Learn.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Aaron. Quickly, before we lose folks, I want to remind everybody that our Writers Co-op is meeting on September 23rd at 6 p.m. And we're going to be talking about powerful kind of video storytelling with Amy Rivers. So a reporter and community editor. We're so excited to have Amy. This is a project between IFU and Progress Iowa. So come join us. I put that in the chat. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Check it out, everyone. It will be a great event. All right. Good seeing everyone. Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.